out of town. I have his proxy.
Okay.
We're on. I'd like to welcome you to the October meeting of the Golf Committee. We have two proxies today. Jerry Foster's gone, and Jim has his proxy. Correct, Jim? You have Jerry's proxy.
Yes, I did, yes.
And David DeGraff is gone, and I have his proxy, and we have not heard anything from Gary Mertz. Jim will be taking notes today, so. Okay.
We're gonna get off script.
What?
Can we do this real quick?
Yeah. Okay, before we get started, we have a ask by Daryl.
Yeah.
Ask by Daryl.
All right, I'm gonna jump in. It's not on the agenda because things kind of went a little sideways, and I kind of wish we had a full room with board people here too, and thousands of members normally that participate at this meeting every month. But we're gonna do it anyway. And what we've got here is this is a award. Celebrate Arkansas is a magazine that comes out every month. Puts it out there. It's a great magazine. It highlights specific stuff that's unique to Northwest Arkansas. And the Highlands Golf Course won it for the best of the best for 2024. Now I want to say this goes a super long way because I know Greg got beat down with a lot of winter kill out there, and every day I would see him just rubbing his head like, what next? Then we have a tree storm. Then we have this. And then here we are with a nice award at the end of the year. Greg would be here today, but he's on vacation. I called him and said, are you going to come in? He goes, I got to pick up my boy. I was like, okay, I get it. But we are going to do a nice little presentation. It's already on our website. And we're going to get a picture of Greg and Alex. And on Alex's standpoint and his crew, not to do with all the windstorms and everything like that, he has had a whirlwind over there with thousands and thousands of buckets of golf balls on that range. We are picking 3-4 times a day. His guys are putting their hair out and or Alex's hair out. But I really appreciate you, Alex. This is what it is right here. I'm going to hand it down to Mr. Alex and Graham for supporting Greg and everything that's happened out there. It's a great victory in Highlands' eyes. And the Friends of Highlands that are out there, the beautify the course too. It's a team effort out at Highlands. And I'm super proud of them. Great to have that there. If you go to the website, you look at the Highlands Golf Course, it's already up there with the little emblem on that, and we will carry that all year. So there will be a magazine coming out, I think December, maybe January, on the Celebrate Arkansas, and it's going to have a 2-page promotion of the Highlands Golf Course. So very good job. I appreciate you all.
Thank you, sir.
Good job.
Appreciate it.
On behalf of the golf committee, the entire golf committee, whether they're here or not, we do congratulate everybody at the Highlands. You've done a fantastic job with the problems you've worked with for every one of you, and all the other courses as well, but it's a salute to you and we appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, the approval of the August 14th minutes. Do I have Dave? Okay, a second? Second. Any additions or corrections? If not, all those approving, I have 2, you have 2, we don't know, so there's 8. Okay, the golf facility report. Jim, we'll start with you.
Okay, the country club.
Jim. Okay.
I have the country club, and as usual, the golf shop to me is just really, really nice. People are friendly in there. It's a pleasure to go in there and look around. The course I think is looking good. I really like the shape of the addition to the green on number 4. That's going to be really awesome. That's really all I have.
Okay, Clay?
All right, this is Clay. I have Dogwood. The course is looking good still. I had one recommendation last time, which was about having more sand available on the par 3s. And every time I've been there, they've been chock full. Okay. So that's good. Talked to Dylan and Jimmy. Things are going good on their side. So everything's good there. No problems.
Good.
Driving range for Highlands. They finally got to reseed the area that was needing to be reseeded. Can I say that? I'm not even saying it right. Anyway, that's really all I have to report. They're just busy as they can be and keeping up with it and handling it. It always looks like they're not working so hard to keep it going, but I know they are. Thank
Sounds
you,
good.
Alex.
Okay, thank you. Brad?
So I have the Highlands, and Pro Shop as always looks amazing. The irrigation expansion on number 8 is complete. Number 7 I think is almost complete. The aeration that they did, 2-3 weeks ago, absolutely amazing. I don't know what you guys did, but it chilled up quick and the greens are rolling really well. So all in all, just nothing but positive about it. So the other thing, I just wanted to make a quick shout out. I had an opportunity to play in a tournament earlier this week at a private club, not in the area, and it really brought to light something that they had a very nice course. Everything was really nice, but so our greenskeepers, maintenance, everything, the respect and the etiquette that they show to the golfers is amazing. So when we were playing at the other course, they didn't shut their moors down. They were continued to weed eat. They just kept right on going, and it was a bother. And so just a big shout out to our team here. So they do a really good job. Appreciate it.
Okay. Any other facility report? Okay, just to notice that as of October, we usually shut down the facility reports until March of next year. So you can still be out there and find things. If you have something come up, be sure you report it. But as far as reporting them, we don't report during the winter months because usually there's not a whole lot new stuff reporting. So, okay, any objections to that?
I want to jump into that, and that's super important. Our reports we do here are great in getting back, but if you see something that's broke, don't wait 3 weeks to report it, especially during winter. You guys know the pros. You know my number. Most of you guys have got it on speed dial. Just give me a call and we'll take care of it immediately, because that's super important. The big things we can take care of, and we'll go from there. And everyone's doing a great job, so just keep me posted, okay?
Even if you see it on a different course that you're not tied to, be sure you report it because we don't want anything to happen, any safety issues or anything like that, so.
I would just say on all the courses are in fabulous shape. I mean, Graham, credits to you and your staff. The only complaint I'm hearing, the only complaint, is the grass on the par 3 tee boxes is just a little bit too long. And I don't know if that creates an issue for you, and so I'm not telling you we have to do that, but I'm just saying that's the complaints we're hearing. A lot of guys like to use a little shorter tees on the par 3s, and they're finding that the ball just doesn't sit well on the par 3s. So I don't know if that creates a huge problem for your mowers to adjust the mow height on the par 3 tee boxes, but it would be greatly appreciated, I think, by the membership if we could get those down a little bit.
Yeah, and just to answer your question, Dave, it was we were trying to let them grow up a little bit coming into wintertime.
I got you.
Knowing that, you know, the first frost it'll start getting kind of laying down a little bit, and then it'll really get beat down. We can certainly review and see if there's anything we can do. Maybe just mowing a little bit more frequently this time of year. Maybe that'll create the effect we need.
And by the way, what are we doing with the armadillos? Golly, they are wreaking havoc, and there's not much we can do, I know, because the environmentalists are, I'm sure, saying, let's leave those little critters alone. They're God's creation.
We're trying to deal with their food source is the main thing. They're eating grubs.
The
this time of
grubs,
year.
yeah.
So
Why don't we just leave some cans of grubs somewhere in a spot where it's not on the ground? Just say, hey, feed here.
Daryl's front yard, something like that. Hey Ruth, what are you going to do for your winter meeting schedule? I just had the Lakes Committee meeting, and they traditionally combine the November-December meeting. I think in the past you guys have skipped January. I just want to figure we just have a conversation now, and so
Okay,
everybody's
let's
on
have
the
that
same
conversation.
page.
Last year, we had up until this time skipped January, but last year we decided to skip December and January both. And so kind of put everything together in November to make sure we wrapped everything up, and then met again in February unless something came up that we had to urgently deal with. And so I guess voting on that or approving that would be appropriate at this time.
I propose that we do that, just no meetings in December, January.
Okay, any other comments regarding it? Okay, not having contacted David on it, I'm not gonna vote for David, but I will vote for myself, so, all those in favor of skipping both December and January this year? Okay, so it'd be 7, or 6 actually, because we haven't talked to the other 2, so it's a positive, go for it. So we'll skip both December and January, so we'll have November, and then we'll move back into February again, so, okay? That was coming up later, but that's okay. So, well, I know, but that was my announcement, but that's all right, no problem. Okay, Graham, you're up.
Okay, you'd have to go past Daryl's report if you want to follow along. I do have some pictures if anybody wants to see those as well.
I don't know if it's ready on, mine's on there, I don't know if his is.
His, I
Mine
think his is on
mine is
there.
on the package,
His is on
yeah.
there,
Yeah, we could do
His
that.
is on
Yeah,
there.
sure. Okay, so all the aerations on all the bent grass courses, Country Club, Highlands, Dogwood, Kingswood, and Birchdale went really good. We did use that new core harvesting technology, which really helped a lot. Fast healing, it was very fast to heal up, and then the greens are rolling smooth very, very shortly afterward, after the practice. So all in all, that was a nice success. We actually did the Tenured Creek greens too, which was that's pretty early for new greens, but we wanted to kind of smooth out that surface, and that worked really good over there as well. So all in all, very good success. We're working on getting all our fall fertilizer out. Most of that is out. There's a couple late applications that we're still going to make on a couple golf courses, and then we've also begun our coloring applications to the fairways, and that's actually only happened on Kingswood. You can see, it's very green right now. We'll continue that into the fall, into the winter, and again, we want to create the look of ryegrass overseeding and give our membership the contrast, and also that'll help warm the soil surface throughout the winter, which is going to be critical to minimize winter kill, in my opinion. So going back to Country Club number 4, we briefly talked about this before the meeting. We were supposed to get our turf from Sod Farm in North Carolina. Hurricane Helene came in, and their whole farm was flooded and unable to get us grass. So we were scrambling to try to find grass. We located some in Chicago, just outside of Chicago, and Reed went up there yesterday, and he's on his way back today with the grass. We're going to plant it tomorrow morning, so during Country Club maintenance. So we were scrambling. It really threw us, it was unplanned, something we had to kind of figure out, but we were able to get it done pretty quickly. And honestly, by going and picking up the grass, we saved about $3,000. So it ended up being pretty good for us. But so we seeded, it was actually the day after JAG, we seeded the Kentucky Bluegrass Blue Muta trial around the Country Club putting green, and we're starting to see that come up a little bit. It's slower than ryegrass, but it is on its way, and I think we'll be able to hopefully give you guys a little bit more detail on what we're seeing next meeting, and then throughout the next 12 months we'll be monitoring that, and you guys will be able to see it and play off of it too. So the pond on number 6, Kingswood, I think last meeting we identified it did in fact have a leak. We were looking at different processes to seal it. You can use bentonite clay, you can seal it with a plastic pond liner, and we've also identified another method that we are considering right now. It's a polymer that will seal the pond as well, significantly lower cost. So we're going to hopefully get that in the at least proposed in the 2025 budget, and we'll see where that goes.
So you haven't decided yet exactly what you're gonna use to seal it?
I think ideally we'd probably use the polymer. It's much cheaper, but we'll see where it goes. Tomorrow I'm riding around with Emery Sapp, who's apparently done most of the asphalt cart path work in Bella Vista, recommended through the MAC department, and so I'm going to ride around with them. Any affected, tree root affected cart path, I will hopefully have. Let the experts tell us what they can do, what we can expect, and hopefully have a report for you guys next month kind of what we're looking at, and the scope of this and what we can kind of expect from this whole thing. So, moving down. So this is our, this picture was taken yesterday. The zoysia, you guys are playing Highlands, you guys have seen 18. This is, the first picture is the double rate of sprigs. And, you know, we figured it was about 3 weeks behind the triple rate. And I think you can kind of see that in this picture. There's still some maybe divot-sized voids out there in a lot of areas. But again, we're moving forward. And then the triple rate of sprigs is, you know, we've really almost there on that plot. I mean, there's still some very small areas that are going to heal up or heal in, and I think that will happen before. I think we have a real good chance because zoysia grass is more cold tolerant than Bermuda. Even those first couple frosts, we're still going to be able to grow a little bit of grass, and the grass is going to stay greener longer. It will actually green up faster too, so we'll be able to continue growing grass longer into the late fall and green up earlier. I think we get, you know, at least in the triple rate, I think we're going to get 100% by the end of the season, and that's really good based on how late we actually planted. Kind of give you guys a time lapse here. I didn't give you the weekly, but every couple weeks you can see on 8/1 that first picture. You can see where we were and not very far along, but there was a lot of grass that had taken, but it wasn't moving much yet. A couple weeks later, you can see making some pretty good progress. A couple weeks down from that, covering up pretty nicely, and then a couple weeks later than that, it's really looking about where the twice over sprig rate was, and this is all in the triple sprig rate. So moving down, we've got the Tanyard Creek practice facility capital project. This is the picture from the tee that I've continuously shown. We had a little spot that was kind of thin there. It's fully healed in now. They're out there forming up concrete and ready to pour that. So we are ready to get our contractor back on site. October 21st, they're going to do all the finished grade work. They've got a little bit of irrigation work they got to do, some drainage work, and do a little bit more on those on the chipping green bunkers. So once they're finished, they probably will be here for 10 working days, and they'll be in and out of here, and we'll be ready. And below that is just that's the chipping green at Tanyard. You can see how good that bent grass looks. Came in beautifully, even though we planted midsummer. So really good stuff. Yeah. Any questions? Sir.
When you said we'll be ready, does that mean ready to open or ready?
Cool your jets there.
Well, I'm just curious.
Only the turf. I just meant the turf will certainly be ready.
I also have a question about number 4. When you do sod the area around the current green, is it ready to put off right away, or is it gonna, what are we?
There'll be some top dressing, on the seams of the turf. I know Rita mentioned when they did this at Birchdale several years ago, they used the plywood walk-in, walk-out area for the first 3 or 4 days. I think we could expect that. Probably 2 to 3 weeks, and it'll probably be puttable. Don't hold me to that, but that's my best estimate.
Are you gonna rope off that area then, so guys don't walk, or women too?
We'll kind of funnel, we'll have something up to funnel the traffic. Yes, sir.
Question on the role of zoysia versus Bermuda. So do you think the course rating will change on Highlands now that it's got zoysia on it?
That's probably more of a question for Daryl, but certainly I know your concern.
Yeah, if you notice, if you go to hole number 1, it's one of the big ones. When you hit there, normally you land up top. On Bermuda, it runs all the way down the hill. Now it sits up top there, which I like. It's a bit of flatter surface than the rundown. So USGA are aware of our change. If it gets approved by the budget, they will be out here to do a course rating. They won't bring out the full team. They'll come out just to a spot check to see if there's anything that needs to change, and we'll make the changes accordingly. But they're going to open, it's got to be established. So you're probably looking, when I spoke to them last, we're looking at 2026 for them to come out once it's fully established.
Well, as a guy who's played off 18-1, I'll tell you, I love it. The grass just is so fantastic. The ball just sits up. Yeah, I mean, I'll give up a few yards of roll for a much better lie.
Any other questions for Graham? Is the open house still planned for the 22nd? Okay, all right.
Hey, wait till,
It's a tough crowd today. Tough crowd. Okay, nothing else for Graham. Thank you, Graham. Daryl, are you up?
Yeah, I'm going to jump into course reports, not course reports, round reports real quick. September ended at 26,393, 26,000. That's 3,339 over last year. It's crazy. It's phenomenal. We've got a good product. Everyone's playing. Member rounds are up by 2,000 just in September, and guest rounds were up by 1,300. Pro shops ended at 111%, so merchandise is moving. We appreciate the membership for purchasing and supporting it, because that's very, very important to keep that moving. The big thing I want to look at is year-to-date rounds at 174,400. That's 8,786 over last year. Last year I thought was a record year. It's crazy. What I like to see is our membership rounds at 107,700. Our total rounds when I started was 116,000. That was total, includes guests. So our member rounds are up. You have a look, 5,694 over last year. Year to date on our members, and our guest rounds are up 3,000. So it's a great deal. We're rocking and rolling. Look at our range buckets. We had 39,976. Most of that's at Highlands, as Alex will attest to. So that's where it is. I have so many people asking, when's Tanyard opening? Well, Jim just asked, when's Tanyard open? So that's our round report. I'm super excited to watch our memberships rounds creeping up more than our guest round. And that's exciting. Getting a lot of people playing golf and growing in golf, and all our clinics are full, which is always good. Any questions on the rounds for me before I jump into Tanyard? Yes, sir.
On the pro shop sales, up 111% to budget. You attribute that, part of that, to the opening of the Kingswood?
Yes.
Kingsdale?
Yeah, we tend, actually Leslie and I were just talking about that. When rounds are up, pro shop sales are up. I mean, you just walk in right now. I was standing in there watching some people walking into Country Club. They got playing TiVo, they're looking around. Oh, that's a great looking hat. Pick up the hat. Oh, that's a golf ball. That's what happens. More people, more foot traffic in the pro shop equals more sales. But Kingswood is selling really well. When people walking in there and, okay, here we go. We love it. The new logo's fantastic with the crown. People are moving, so it's kind of exciting.
I've said this before, but Leslie does an unbelievably great job with merchandising. I mean, I've been to other country clubs all around, and I would put our merchandise up against any country club that's out there, and the pricing is way better.
Yes, sir.
It's usually $20 or so more, less per shirt, or something like that. So, and the quality is the same. I mean, really good quality. She does a fantastic job. Love the new logo for Kingswood. That's just really cool, whoever came up with that. It just really ties in well with what,
Appreciate it.
the whole thing. So yeah, Leslie is she's really phenomenal.
Yeah, and if ever, I encourage a membership, and if ever you're in country club, stick your head around and say hi to Leslie and thank her, because she says it's kind of a thankless job sometimes. She got her head down receiving merch, getting it all out and everything, but so
I'll give one more testimonial about Leslie. We ordered hats for our Futures Cup through Leslie, and obviously the quality of them is fantastic. So she got the order, and there's 80 hats and 10 more visors, or 9 more visors or whatever. I didn't even notice, but there's a little dirt on the hats. So she got a hold of the manufacturer and wanted him to redo them all because of the little dirt on these hats. I never would have noticed. I would have just taken them and said, that's great. But that's the level of service she provides. It's like she really is so attentive to the details, and so it's just great for our membership, just great.
I agree, appreciate it. Thank her every time, I thank her every day too, so we're growing. Also I forgot to mention, I want to thank the Friends of Highlands. We had a 4A districts up at Highlands golf tournament 2 weeks ago, where they sponsored lunch out there. It was fantastic, as well as help for monitors. Miss Ruth was out there and her loyal troopers that were out there. So we're Friends of Highlands. I appreciate that. The 4A went extremely well. We had 2 teams go down to state, very well represented down at another course down there, which reminded me when you brought that up, because I walked into their pro shop and I looked around and I'm like, oh my goodness, do we have it good in Bella Vista? So we're really proud, and thank you all for sponsoring. That went a long way. Otherwise, without the sponsorship for the food, we couldn't do it. So thank you, Friends of Highlands. Appreciate that. All right, Tanya Creek, drum roll. I've got a quick slide presentation. Well, it's not a presentation. I just took some pictures this morning that I want to show everybody. First of all, October 22nd, that is coming up on the 22nd, is at 3 o'clock is the open house for everybody to come and walk around on the 22nd. And why that is, we were meant to do it last month, but there was no concrete down. If you have a look on this side, they've got the painting on the inside, the baffles are all up on the roof. It's coming together really good. The tiles down in the bathrooms, the tiles down in the bath and the bar area going around. So it's just a little snippet, bit of green. I don't want to give away too much. The next picture, you can see the path. They're forming the concrete path in there. That's the front part. That's the next picture is right underneath the sitting area and the bays. So it's super excited. But if you were to go down there now, had a tour, you wouldn't be able to walk up there. So unfortunately, we had to cancel it last month, but we are on track to have it on the 22nd. You're going to see a hub of activity because Fleetwood's going to be on property, kind of tying it all in. And that would all have cured, which is really exciting. We've got the new stairwell in the third picture going up to the top level, and they're busy. So they got a lot done in the last 2 days, and concrete will actually start getting poured hopefully tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow morning now? Sweet. There we go. So tomorrow morning through, and we'll be ready to go. Get them out of here, let it cure, and we'll have the tour. So it's been a big project. It's been a fun project to watch, and come to the tour. I want everybody there, and we'll get to watch it. And you have to listen to me a little longer on that. So all good to go. Any
Will the
questions?
parking be where the car parking was before?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, just come on down there. Once again, it is a live working site, so be careful. We'll try to get everybody to park away, not in the construction area, which the parking lot they've got all tore up. So we'll get everybody down that far side, and we'll kind of walk up, and we'll just go around and see how it happens. But I'm excited for everybody to see it. Any questions for me on that?
Okay.
Fantastic. Thank you.
No questions. All right. Alex, you're up.
Thank you, Daryl. Only a couple more events on the 2024 calendar. Next up is the Rally in Pink at Scottsdale on Saturday, October 26th. I think we got about 15 teams signed up so far, so 2 more weeks or so to get in that. I know Megan over at Scottsdale has a bunch of stuff planned for it, so should be one worth getting in. And then the last event of the year is a Veterans Day event out at Highlands on Veterans Day. That's on a Monday this year, so a little bit of a different day. And that one's a different format. We're breaking our 4-person scramble habit, and we're going with a lone soldier format in this event, which is basically 1 player on each hole plays their own ball, the other 3 scramble. You add their scores together. A little bit different, kind of quirky, but we like to mix it up for at least 1 event a year. All of our teaching programs are wrapping up. We are having our last junior golf play day tomorrow at Burksdale. We had a total of 94 participants in our Operation 36 program this year, so that's between ladies, men, and juniors. So really, really happy with all the participation that we got. And not too much else. We're just going to start on the 2025 calendar here in the next month or so and get it all hammered in for everyone's approval. Anybody have any questions on any events?
No questions for Alex. Thank you,
Thank
Alex. Tom?
We have our first progress tour at the gun range on the 15th of this month at 3 o'clock. So it's a Tuesday. It's 1 week prior to the first progress tour at Tanya Creek, which is on the 22nd. So come join us. Now, if you're going to come to the gun range, please carpool. There's limited parking. So join up with a buddy and so forth, and we'll see you there at 3 o'clock on the 15th.
Anything for Tom? Okay, I don't see any board liaisons. Kyle, anything? Okay, old business, I have nothing for old business. Is anybody else? Or new business?
I just want to talk about our Futures Cup tournament that we
Okay.
have going on next week at 3 different courses on Friday, Saturday, Sunday of next week, Scottsdale, Highlands, and then Country Club. And we have 80 guys that are going to play, and 3 of us in this room are on that with a red team and a blue team. And I'm happy to announce that all the guys that are participating have donated $100 to participate, and all $8,000 is going to junior golf. So we're able to do that. I'm sponsoring it through Crylike Realtors, through my real estate company. I'm going to sponsor all of the prizes and all of the refreshments and everything else. So I'm proud to do that. I'm happy to give back to the community, and I'm so proud of all the guys that are participating and knowing that there's not huge prizes for them to win, but they're willing to contribute and have a great time. We are really excited. This is so much fun for all of us. It's a Ryder Cup type format, and Larry Apathy is in charge of the red team, and this is our 5th year, and his team has won 4 of the 5 years. Charlie Powell is in charge of the blue team, and he feels strongly that his team will win this year. So we'll see what happens, but it's usually pretty close, and Daryl's always out there Sunday, and I think you can attest when everybody comes in off the course on Sunday and it gets down to, sometimes the final matches, it's pretty exciting. It's fun. So if you see a bunch of guys dressed in red and blue as you're driving by Country Club or whatever, just know that's what's going on.
Thank you. Yes.
See, so this is a question, kind of a forum. This is about member experience, right? We're supposed to work on that. So there's an etiquette when people are done with the shotgun and they're bustling back in towards the clubhouse. So just the last week, I've had 4 or 5 ladies talk to me that they were upset that the men are barreling through, not crossing in the fairway, but they're channeling down the side of the fairway while they're hitting shots and the like. So what is there a proper etiquette for people coming back off the course, or is this something that we shouldn't worry about?
It's etiquette in golf goes a long way across the board. Keeping quiet when someone's hitting. You just gotta show respect when people come in. I mean, I know if I've been in the shotgun, I'm at the far side, I'm gonna come back slowly. If someone's teeing off, I slow down, I watch them, wave at them, and carry on. That's all it is. Everybody's got to be respectful to everybody else. It says it in our sign, be respectful to everybody else. Can't police it. Talk about it. We can talk about it here, and hopefully people click on it to say, hey, let's pay attention, be aware of everybody else around it. We can't police it. Everybody's coming in at one time. So just talk amongst the groups and everything like that. Paul's got those etiquette videos out. He is about to start another lot of it with some other stuff that's coming up, and I'm going to ask him to add that in. When you're coming in on a shotgun, slow down. Let's have a look. Your money will be there to collect when you get there. It'll all be good to go. So everything will be good. But yeah, it happens everywhere. I've been in tournaments elsewhere. Brad was at a tournament at another place. I guarantee when they were all coming in, when you're done, I'm done. And then they're heading in and they're just riding everywhere. Just respect everybody else. And if somebody's still playing, just wait a little bit and go in behind them. Be good to go. But I hear it.
Anything else? Anything else for the good of the cause? Okay, the next golf meeting will be November 13th, 4 o'clock right here in the boardroom. And remember, we're dropping December and January, so scratch those off your calendar. Okay? We stand adjourned.